not all cards have to be rectangular. Sometimes it's so much fun to create something completely unexpected. So for today I'm using a template, and this is a digital template that you can get from Etsy. It's less than €3 and you can have so much fun with it. It's designed by my super talented friend Emilia, and you can find the link down below in the description. So you can print that out and you can use your scissors to cut out the shapes, a really simple line so it's not going to take you forever. Or if you do have a digital die cutting machine like a scan and cut like I'm having here, or a silhouette or a Cricut, you can definitely cut them out using your digital machine. Now the beauty of having a digital template to start with for your project has many advantages. First of all, they are very cheap. Second, you can get them instantly the moment you want them on your craft room. Just print them out and you're good to go. And third and most important is that you can resize them so you can have this card as big or as small as you like. So you see how easy it is to put this cup together, but now let's embellish it. For that I'm going to use pattern paper. You can use any pattern paper that you have at home. Now I'm using the Timeless paper pad by Stamperia, designed by Emilia. But again, use whatever you have. I'm just going to pick 3 different pattern papers. And of course I already have all the cutout pieces since I used white cardstock for that, but you can definitely use pattern paper instead of white, and this way you end up with all the pieces already made. All you have to do is to assemble. Now in my case, just because I want to have a sturdier card, I'm going to cover all those white templates with the pattern paper. So you can either go ahead with your scissors and cut out one more shape, or you can use your digital cutter. I know I'm making things more complicated, but I absolutely love the sturdiness that it gives. That's why I'm using my scissors to just go all around and cut out once more every one of those shapes. For my cup sleeve, I decided to use this scrap piece of burlap that I have so that I can give some extra texture on my design. So now I have all the pieces ready. Once I have the template out of pattern paper and another time I have it out of white. So all I am going to do is just stick one on top of the other just to make these pieces sturdier. Again, remember I used 3 different pattern papers, but I know that they match lovely together because they come from the same paper pad. So you can use any paper pad that you have. I used 3 of those pattern papers from there, and you will end up with a lovely cup. And you can make your coffee cups for any season, like for example you can go with a paper pad that is about Christmas and you can turn this into a Christmas coffee cup. You can use something about fall, etc. So it is really versatile and the theme depends on you. For me, I decided to go with a very generic one. I will just embellish it with flowers and leaves just to make sure that I can use it for pretty much any occasion and season. I used vintage photo to ink up the edges on all the pieces just because I want to give a kind of a vintage vibe, and I even added some of that color on my burlap. I'm adding double-sided tape at the back. I'm going to peel off the back and stick it on top of my piece. And as you see me putting together this card, I would love to know if you have ever used a digital template, and if so, for what? Let's start a conversation down below in the comments. I would love to know your opinion about them. I find that they are so easy to use and very approachable because they don't require you to have any crazy machines. You can just print them out and fuzzy cut with your scissors and you can have a lovely project. Of course, if you do have a digital cutter like I do, it is way easier to do, but it's not required. Now what I'm doing here is using thin strips of foam tape along the sides, the 3 sides. I'm going to leave the top as it is without foam tape, and this way I'm going to add some dimension on my card, and at the same time I am creating a pocket where I can slide inside the little tag that comes with the lid. And you can see how adorable it already looks. You have a little space inside to write or stamp a little sentiment. I decided to stamp something, but you can definitely write down whatever you like, and you have space at the back as well. So I am going with a hello thinking of you. I'm going to stamp thinking of you on the inside. By the way, I'm using a stamp set that I designed a couple of years ago for Spellbinders for one of my collections. And I made sure that it comes with many sentiments that you can use again and again. I will link it down below, not even sure if it is still available, but if I find it, I will add it. And there is also the hello stamp that you can use from the same stamp set, which I embossed with gold embossing powder. And the same stamp set comes with some dies included so that you can cut out the word hello. And of course you can stop here, or if you want you can embellish your card even more. I'm going to bring in the pattern paper and just fuzzy cut some of the flowers and leaves that are in this paper. Again, in the paper pad that you chose to work with to cover up this card, this template, I'm sure there are different elements that you can fuzzy cut to create a little cluster just next to the sentiment. And since I did ink up all the edges on my main coffee cup, I am going to repeat the same process for the cutouts. This is going to kind of disguise any mistakes that I did while fuzzy cutting, and at the same time it's going to bring the same look and feel on all the elements that I have. So I'm going to create my cluster now. I'm using foam tape at the back on some of the elements just to create the different layers and add dimension. I went with a white and a blue flower, and then I'm going to tuck behind a couple of leaves. I want my flower composition to look fuller, so I'm going to use this die set, and I will use those two little dies down at the bottom. This die set is designed by Emilia as well, and I will just cut them out from white cardstock. These are great elements that you can tuck behind your flower composition, and it's going to make them look fuller without adding any extra busyness. So just a delicate touch here and there. And to tell you the truth, today I had so much fun putting this card together, just because I used things that I haven't used for a while, like for example the digital template, but also the fact that the card is not the standard rectangular card. I absolutely love that it is such a fun card with a lid that you can take out. Now I'm going to add some finishing touches. I'm going to just wrap some thread. This actually is hemp, which I'm going to wrap around the lid and then tie a little bow. I am also going to bring in my contour liner to add some dots at the center of the flowers. I went with the old gold contour liner. It comes in various colors, but this one matches perfectly with the embossing that I have on my word hello. So a final touch, I'm going to add some iridescent contour liner in some of those little buds or whatever those are, just to add an extra touch of shine, and I will finish it off by adding some white splattering. You don't have to do it, I know that white splattering is not for everyone, but I absolutely love that detail and I seem not to be able to stay away from it. So that was the project for today. I hope that you had fun, that you got inspired. The link to the template is down below in the description area. Thank you all so much for joining me today, and I'll see you all next time.